Coin has been on an absolute roller coaster this year, once being up 70% year to date and now down since January 1st. However, there has been a ton of news coming out for this project over the past year, both good and bad, that we are going to recap in today's video. Everything from the controversial burn proposal to the Crypto.com CEO confirming Visa buffs will be coming again in the future, as well as collaborations with Amazon and Google, while Crypto.com also left the US in terms of their institutional business. We are going to break down all of this for you guys in today's video and explain why I believe there is still a ton of growth ahead for Crypto.com and Coin. So we're going to start things off here with the burn proposal. This was definitely a very controversial decision on behalf of the Crypto.com team, one that I personally was also not a fan of, although it did end up passing. And we can see that at the moment, as of the time of this recording, there is already 7.2 million CRO in the community pool wallet waiting to be burned. So the basic premise of this burn was to go ahead and slow down the inflation of the Crypto.org chain, and more specifically of the CRO token, as currently there are about 26 billion CRO tokens in circulation with an annual inflation rate of roughly 2.5%. This means that each year about 646 million CRO tokens are emitted and effectively are diluting all the current token holders of this project. So the proposed mechanism aimed to gradually burn a portion of the CRO rewards emitted to validators, and the approach entails allocating a portion of tokens produced through future inflation to a community pool, which is then burned on a periodic basis, with the anticipated result being to decrease the inflation rate, ultimately leading to better tokenomics for Coin. So this is how the Crypto.org chain worked before the burn proposal went through. CRO holders delegate CRO tokens to validators. Validators secure the chain by producing and validating blocks based on the number of staked tokens. CRO rewards received by CRO holders after deducting validator commissions, and validators then receive their commission from rewards if applicable. Now, this is how the proposed mechanism, which has now passed, has altered the Crypto.org chain, and this is where I do tend to take issue with the burn actually going through. So steps 1 and 2 remain the same, but now for step number 3, instead of directly emitting the CRO fully to the validator, some portion of the rewards, in this case 15%, are redirected to the community pool. CRO rewards minus the portion redirected are received by CRO holders after deducting for validator commissions. Validators receive commissions from rewards, and the CRO in the community fund is sent to a burn address through governance vote and removed from circulation completely. So the proposed burning mechanism is estimated to take approximately 100 million CRO out of circulation in the first year, reducing the inflation rate from 2.49% down to around 2.1%. Now, if we just take a quick look at the numbers here on this Google Jamboard, you're going to see why I personally was not a big fan of the burn proposal. So burning 100 million CRO per year times 10 years, you're going to burn about 1 billion CRO every 10 years that this burn proposal is live. If we take a look at the total market cap, or the total supply of CRO rather, that sits at 30.2 billion. So effectively, it's going to take 1 year to burn 0.3% of CRO's total supply, or 10 years to burn 3% of the total supply. And this comes at the cost of a 15% reduction in staking rewards annually. So effectively giving up 15% of your yield every single year to burn 0.3% of the total supply. And in my opinion, the math here definitely did just not add up. However, what happened here was some people were not happy with the burn proposal. We actually saw a slight decline in the amount of CRO staked on the network, down from about 6.3 billion down to 5.3 billion. That is already up to 5.712 billion and still climbing. And we can also see here that CRO is still offering a very juicy yield at 10.5%. If we go ahead and compare that to what is being offered here by a lot of these other larger cryptocurrencies in terms of the yield, you can see that having a double-digit yield, it definitely does stand out here. So regardless of the burn proposal not being a massive deal, it would appear that the staking yield did end up leveling out at the same yield more or less, which in my opinion was the big concern. So now that we have seen the yield stabilize in the double-digit range, as long as it does stay there, I think I'm pretty neutral on the burn. However, what I think was the most important from this burn is that the Crypto.com team did say that they would be looking for future burn proposals in the future, and that is future burn proposals in the future. That's really good English, but you know what I mean. Effectively, I'm just hoping that they take this burn proposal, they move forward, and next time it is more of a substantial burn that can really put some attention on CRO coin. Now, speaking of putting attention on CRO coin, I think that one very powerful acquisition tool for Crypto.com has in fact been their Crypto.com Visa program. This is initially what got me into CRO coin before we were even talking about the Cronos chain. Before that was even a thing, the Visa and the growth of Crypto.com was the original reason that I invested in this project. In my opinion, the Crypto.com Visa is one of the most impressive crypto visas on the market globally, and we can take a look at the rewards that are being offered here. Now, this comes after a year of the rewards actually being slashed throughout the bear market, and we did in fact see in an AMA from CEO Chris Marzalek in early May that the Visa cards will be buffed again in the future. This is a direct quote saying you can count on us to adjust the benefits or add new benefits as the market recovers. Now, the reason I think this is bullish is because the CRO Visa forces users to lock up CRO to actually get the Visa in the first place and to actually keep it locked up here after a 6-month waiting period if you do want to maintain the benefits this card does have to offer. The other thing that I do like to say about the cashback on the visas here is that yes, you're looking at 2% cashback for the Royal Indigo and Jade Green, 1% for Ruby Steel, 3% for Frosted Rose Gold and Icy White, and 5% for the Obsidian Black card. And each tier does cost a different amount. So Ruby Steel, you're paying $500 Canadian or 400 USD worth of CRO and locking it up to get the visa and get that 1% cashback. The Royal Indigo and Jade Green comes in at 4,000 USD worth of CRO locked up for that 2% cashback. The Frosted Rose Gold and Icy White comes in at 40,000 USD worth of CRO being locked up here for that 3% cashback, and some other benefits here, including free Spotify, Netflix, Prime, Expedia, and the Obsidian Black card here, a whopping 400,000 USD worth of CRO needs to be locked up for 5% cashback and the benefits. Now take a look at what happens if you go ahead and decide to unstake your CRO after that 6-month period. Boom, majority of your rewards are gone. So not only does it incentivize people to buy CRO to lock it up for that 6-month period, but to also keep your CRO staked to continue receiving the benefits that this card does have to offer. And therefore, I do think that any buff in the future for this Visa program would be very bullish for CRO coin. So we've spoken about the CRO coin burn. We've spoken about the Visa program. I do want to talk about some of the bullish collaborations between the Cronos team and some of the largest tech companies in the world. The first one here being Amazon. So it was announced here back on April 25th that CRO would be collaborating with AWS. More specifically, the Cronos chain team, Cronos Labs, would be collaborating with AWS to boost Web3 startup growth through the Cronos Accelerator program. So this is a thread that we wrote on CRO when this happened. It actually was up about 14% here when the news initially came out. What does this mean for the future price action of CRO and the growth of Cronos chain? Can this help CRO coin hit $1? Let's talk about it. So Cronos Labs, a blockchain startup accelerator that focuses on decentralized finance, blockchain games, and development of the Cronos chain's ecosystem, has announced that it will leverage AWS Activate, a program designed to help startups basically succeed in the cloud, to support them and help them scale through the Cronos Accelerator program. So they're looking to go ahead and help the next gen of developers build dApps on Cronos, targeting DeFi, GameFi, SocialFi, and infrastructure. Participants basically get access to the AWS services as well as funding from Cronos Labs. And through this collaboration, startups will benefit from the scalability, security, and flexibility of AWS's cloud infrastructure, allowing them to build and deploy their blockchain-based apps quickly and efficiently. So what does this collab mean with AWS for CRO and the future of the Cronos chain? Well, I believe that the Cronos team has struck this collaboration in an attempt to re-accelerate growth on Cronos after TVL and transactions have remained pretty stagnant since the start of 2023. We can see here that as of April 26, we have the TVL at 391 mil. I believe that's even lower now, like in the $340 million range based on the declining price of CRO coin. So, I mean, the fact that AWS, if we actually take a look here at AWS's market share, you're going to notice why this is such a big deal for CRO. And we're going to take a look at this here with an infographic. So I don't know exactly when this came out, but we can see here that this shows AWS having 32% market share in cloud infrastructure, Azure having 23%, and Google Cloud having 10%. So clearly AWS is an absolute monster here in terms of cloud infrastructure, and that's why obviously teaming up here with Cronos could help bring some much needed developer talent to this blockchain. It was also announced here on Amazon Web Services official LinkedIn account with over 8.3 million followers. So we spoke about Amazon, Azure, and Google Cloud, and that's why we are also now going to discuss how Cronos did actually team up here with Google Cloud. Rather, Google Cloud actually sponsored the Cronos Accelerator program. So startups in the program will be eligible to receive Google Cloud credits utilizing their services and infrastructure to build, test, and deploy their Web3 dApps. Also looking to leverage Google Cloud's AI expertise on how to conduct AI workshops and effectively focus on incorporating this AI into the dApp development, enabling them to create smarter, more efficient, and scalable applications. So nothing groundbreaking, nothing that has an immediate impact on the price action, but very good to see nonetheless that the Cronos team was able to strike a deal with both Amazon and Google, two of the largest tech companies in the world and two of the biggest players in cloud infrastructure. Now, to talk about Crypto.com here once again in terms of the growth of its platform, we know that in November of last year, they just passed the 70 million user mark, and it was announced here as of January 19th this year that they actually passed the 80 million user mark worldwide. I do believe that Crypto.com is in fact on pace to hit 100 million users at some point late this year or early next year, and this is a big deal. I mean, we can see here that Binance, the largest exchange in the world, has 140 million registered users. So if Crypto.com could even hit 100 million by the end of this year, early next year, that would be very good for the growth and adoption of this platform. And if they can incentivize people to potentially get logged in here with something like, let's say, the Crypto.com Visa program, that could be very good for adoption of CRO as well. We know that Binance has run into some trouble in the US. They are actually being sued by both the CFTC and the SEC, while Crypto.com here had actually launched back in March the very first CFTC regulated crypto derivatives product, basically allowing people to bet on the market either going up or down and make money either way. And this does just speak to Crypto.com's strategy in terms of getting that regulatory approval and being able to operate in these different regions, something I do believe will pay off tremendously in the next bull run. Now, as the SEC did actually go ahead and sue Coinbase, we did in fact see Crypto.com go ahead and pull their business from US institutions. And this is something that I do think in the long run will obviously kind of harm the adoption and growth of Crypto.com and of CRO, as we want institutions to be on this platform. They said here that there was a lack of demand due to the market landscape in the US, and that basically demand has just completely dried up in this area. This is a direct quote from Crypto.com, saying that we recently made a business decision to suspend the institutional offering of the Crypto.com exchange in the US as of 11:59 June 21st due to limited demand from institutions in the US in the current market landscape. Impacted institutional users were given advance notice to support a smooth transition. However, stressing this does not affect the retail trading app, which does include the CFTC regulated crypto derivatives product. And based on the news in this video alone, I think it's quite obvious that the Crypto.com team has been working to really drive the global adoption of their platform as well as the Cronos chain, which could lead to very good things for CRO in the next bull run. And I wanted to make this video to kind of not talk about the price and more so just talk about the news, because in a bear market, people really, sentiment is pretty much at all-time lows now from what I've seen. Not just for CRO, for a lot of these different altcoins, people don't care about the news, good or bad. They just see these altcoins getting slaughtered every single day, not only on their USD pair, but also on their Bitcoin pair. So I did want to make this video to kind of cover the news, because despite the price action, there are a lot of good things happening for CRO behind the scenes. However, in terms of the price action, I do want to quickly point out that I am now eyeing a key area of support at 2.5 cents, which does actually go all the way back here to early and late 2020. And people might not want to hear that CRO could once again cut another 50% from here. The last level we were talking about sat at 5.5 cents, which made for a very good trading opportunity once in November from 5.5 cents up to 8.5 cents. So that was a nice 30% swing trade there. And then again in the new year from 5.5 cents up to about 9.5 cents. So a nice 70% swing. However, it looks like we are now breaking below this key area of support, and therefore 2.5 cents is the next level I am looking for on the charts and where I potentially may be once again interested in buying some more CRO. However, I do still remain bullish on the team and the project as well, and I think that as long as they continue to execute, that CRO coin will be here in the next bull run and that it will be a big beneficiary of the crypto adoption that has yet to come. So on that note, I hope you did enjoy the content in today's video. You know what to do. If you made it all the way to the end, you are an absolute champion. Let me know in the YouTube comments down below and claim that champion status. I hope you are all having an amazing day, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out for now.